in the AC 236. I'd appreciate it. All right, so here we go. Here's the Excel spreadsheet. And this will be the first video that we've done on residuals that actually is not screwed up. So hopefully this will work. All right, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger for those that need to be able to see it from home. Make the grid lines bigger. And I'm going to go ahead and make larger columns. Okay. Observed X. Observed Y. And then we got to put our regression. We'll do the regression separately. But let's, I don't know why my throat's messed up. Okay, let's go with 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, and 13. Let's go with 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, and 8. Okay, so I want everybody to put that in your calculator or your Excel spreadsheet. Go ahead and do that right now, please. All right. We'll put it in the Excel. We'll put it in the calculator here. Stat, edit. And the reason I'm doing it on here is so that way people that use, the 2 or 3 people that use the video, they can actually go back and forth and learn how to use their calculator. All right, 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, and 13. And 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, and 8. Now we'll go ahead and do the line of regression. We have to do that in order to get our predictions. So hit stat, calculate, and linear regression. And change that to L1, which is 1, and calculate. So our function is y equal to 0.5494 x plus 2.5988. We've got a 0.92 correlation. So we are got a pretty good correlation of 0.92. So let's go ahead and do this on the spreadsheet. We're going to highlight. Sorry. And we're going to go to Insert, We're going to go to chart plot or data plot or whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to move this over here a little bit. I didn't mean to do that. And highlight and add trend line. And go down to display and display. And there is our information that we need. And you can see that it looks just like our data from the calculator. 0.4594 plus 25988. So now that we have a prediction line, which the dotted line, the line of regression is your prediction line, what can we calculate? We can calculate our predicted Y values, which is called Y hat. Okay, so we're going to put that right here, predicted Y, and we're going to call that Y hat. And somebody tell me how we calculate the predicted Y. How do we do that? That means I want somebody to unmute your mic and talk. How do we calculate the predicted Y? Okay, I don't believe that there's no one in the classroom that doesn't know. That's bull crap. So I'm going to sit here and we're going to wait until somebody communicates. It's your time. It's not mine. How do we calculate the predicted Y? Just like we calculate any Y. How do we do it?
You just plug it into the equation?
You plug it into the prediction equation. Thank you. And there's no more people in here that know that. They just don't want to talk. So percentage, plug in X or 0.595494 times X plus 2.5988. There are your predicted Ys. So what are those? Well, I'm going to show you. I will show you just like I showed you on other ones, but you didn't have any sound, so it didn't help very much. And thank you for that one person that looked at the video. Thank you for telling me that it didn't have sound, although I went through and checked it. I knew it wasn't going to have sound. So, all right, so I'm going to use the magenta because it, you know, I'm going to put a dot here and a dot here and a dot here and a dot here and a dot there and a dot here and a dot there and a dot there, and a dot there. And those are the values we just predicted. So I'm going to take my handy dandy highlighter here, and I'm going to highlight those magenta to kind of, well, I guess I'll have to go with that color. There we go. Those are the dots we just predicted. Now, somebody tell me what the residual is. Somebody tell me what the residual is. Yes, we talked about it in class, so there's at least 15 people that can tell me what the residual is. I'm waiting.
The deviation from the sample mean.
The distance from the prediction to the what? No, it wasn't supposed to be that thick. From the prediction to the observed. Let me see if I can get a smaller line. And you just have to use your imagination. This is so small. I'm doing my best here. It's supposed to be a vertical line, but sometimes my points don't line up. So, and somebody tell me how many vertical, I'm sorry. Somebody tell me how many negatives we're going to have. Can anybody count and tell me how many negatives we're going to have?
3, 4.
4.
We should have 1, 2, 3, 4 because they are below the line. So I'm going to go ahead and put up here residual, which is y minus y hat. And we will highlight those yellow. So equals y minus y hat. Equals y minus y hat. And copy that down. And that is your residuals. Now, the computer and the homework, I'm not going to give you these on the test, but the homework wants you to give them a number for the residual squared. That's what they want. So what am I going to do to each one of these?
Square it.
Yep. And then what am I going to do? What am I going to do with that number after I square each of these? What am I going to do?
Sum it up.
Sum it up, and that's the number they want. And the reason I say they want it is because I don't care. I don't really do the residuals because you don't need them. I don't know why they want you to do them, but they do. So we're going to do them for the homework. And there is the residuals squared, and here is the number they want. I'm going to highlight that green because that's what they want in the homework. And that's called the sum of residual squared. Something like that. If anybody can tell me exactly what it says, I don't know right offhand, but I believe it's sum of residual squared. Yes, no, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Appreciate it.
Well,
Like I said, I really don't care, but, you know, oh, forget it. I'll just leave it. But I think it helps to kind of see what it actually is. You got to predict the magenta, and then you got to do the yellow, which is the line, the distance between those two in terms of y. And then you sum them up, or you square them and sum them up. That's the number they want. Now, how do you do that on your calculator? Well, you go over here, turn your calculator on, and you go back here, and you go to Stat, and you go to edit, and you put for L3, you hit second stat. And that's why you watch the video, so you can go back and hit second stat and rewind and all that. Trying to leave y'all hints that you should be watching the video. Well, it doesn't do any good if they're not sound, so that's why I'm doing this video today. And hit enter, and there are your numbers that we calculated right here, the yellow. Negative 1.1482, negative 1.148. And now I'm going to add those, I'm going to square them. So I go over to L4 and I type in second stat, L3. And what am I going to do to L3? I'm going to square it. Caret symbol, square, enter. And then how do I total that up? I go to stat, calculate, and first variable statistic, and do L4, second, 4, and calculate. And SX is 9.327, just like the engine, 327. 9.327. So that's how you do it on your calculator or your Excel spreadsheet. Now, there's one question on the homework that wants you to predict a line from 2 points. So we're going to do that. So let's do that with this one. All right, we're going to do, I mean, we could copy this. I'm not going to copy it down because I'm going to pick 2 points. I'm going to pick the first point and the last point. No, that won't work. Let's do the second to the last point. Let's stick this one right here. All right, I want y'all to calculate I want y'all to calculate the slope and the equation for those 2 points. I'll do it by hand on the whiteboard here. So we've got 1 point, 1 comma 2, and you got another point, 12, 11. And we read left to right. So that's x sub 1, y sub 1. That's x sub 2, y sub 2. And slope is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, which is parenthesis minus parenthesis over parenthesis minus parenthesis. And that's 11 minus 2 over 12 minus 1. 11 minus 2 is what? 9. And 12 minus 1 is what? 11. So our slope is equal to 9 over 11. I'm going to pick a point, and the point I'm going to pick is 1 and 2. Why am I going to pick 1 and 2? KISS method. Keep it what? Keep it simple. You could pick 12 and 11, but I don't know why you'd want to pick 12 and 11 when you could pick 1 or 2. And this is x sub 1, y sub 1. Y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. Y minus parentheses is equal to parentheses times x minus parentheses 2, 9 over 11, and 1. y minus 2 is equal to 9/11 x minus 9/11. Bring over 22/11. And our equation is y is equal to 9/11 minus 9 plus 22. I have no idea. What would it be? 13/11? I think that's right. Plus 13/11. Somebody check my math, please. So this is our prediction line using what? Using these 2 points. Now, what they're trying to get you to see here in the homework is what's better to use, 5 points or 2 points? What's more accurate? That means I want somebody to say something. What's more accurate, 5 points or 2 points?
2.
Actually, 5 points are more accurate because you're getting in between all of them, and 5 points are more accurate. You're going to get a bigger number probably of your residuals here. So now I'm going to go over to the Excel spreadsheet and I'm going to make some changes. And I'm going to go to the calculator and I'm going to make some changes. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change. We've got to change the actual formula right here. Now I can't punch in a formula. So what I can do is I can put 2 numbers right here. And we're going to put 1 and 2. And, well, if I could get it to work, 12 and 11. I'm going to highlight those 2. And I'm going to insert. And there's my chart plot. That's not right. That can't be right. What the heck is wrong with this thing? That's not right. I didn't get a negative slope. Okay, am I putting in something in wrong? 1 and 2 and 12 and 11. The last time I checked, 12 and 11 was up here. Let me try that again. Insert. Okay. I don't know what it's doing, y'all. It's doing 2 and 11 right here. It don't like doing 2 points. Let me put an X and a Y right here. I don't think that's going to work either. Insert. No, that's not going to work. It don't like 2 points. So I don't know how to fix that. I'm not going to worry about it right now. We're going to go to the calculator. I've never done 2 points on a Excel spreadsheet. So let's go to the calculator and let's put in, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to use the, I'm not going to worry about this. We're just going to type it in. All right. So right here, I'm going to type in right here. I'm going to type in predicted using 2 points. Okay, predicted using 2 points. So that's I'm going to plug in each one of these X's to our formula. Y is equal to, what is it? 9/11. 9 divided by 11. Did anybody turn that into a decimal? That's all right, I'll do it. Because y'all won't tell me nothing. Y'all just sit there like a bunch of deadheads. 9 divided by 11. 0.8181. So I'll type that in as 0.8181. 0.8181 times our x's plus 13 over 11. 13 over 11. 1.181, 1.182 plus 1.182. And these are our new, let's see how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there's our new predicted values. And how do we find y hat? Y minus y hat, I mean our residuals. Y minus y hat. So y minus y hat. And copy that down. And then what do we do with that? Y minus y hat, quantity squared. And that's going to take that and we're going to square it. Just going to make them all positive. Didn't do it. Hold on. To make them all positive. And then add those numbers up. It should be bigger. There is your residual squared, sum of the residual squared for that, for this thing right here. Now somebody tell me why it's not as accurate. Why is the 2 points got a larger regression, larger residual than 5 points?
Because you don't have as much data.
Because you don't have as much data to prove, okay? This is 2 points. This is just like pulling 5 tires for Michelin. This is like pulling 100 tires from Michelin. The more data you get, the what? The more data you get, the what?
The more accurate the data is going to be.
There you go. You get out what you what?
Put in.
You get out what you put in. If you half-ass your data, your presentation, your predictions are going to be half-assed. Okay? And that's why they're doing the residual, I guess, to show you that the more data you have, the more, you know, let me put this right here, Control C, Control V, the more residual you're going to have. Okay, who has a question on it? Now, to do this on your calculator, it shouldn't be that hard. You just go and you erase everything, and you go to Stat, Edit, and you clear this. Well, I'm trying to think. It's going to be hard to do it on your calculator because you're going to have to put those points in. I'm trying to think how the best way to do it. Yeah, you're going to have to do it manually. You're going to have to do it manually unless there's a way to do it on the calculator with the 2 points. You're going to have to do it just like I did. You're going to have to go over to a piece of paper and do it like this and then punch that in. That's about the only way you can do it. unless there's a way to do it on the calculator, which I don't know. So I'm not going to try to squeeze it in 5 minutes. So again, with the homework problems on 4.1 and 4.2, they're going to ask you to do this one first. This is the one they're going to ask you to do first. The X and Y, they're going to ask you to do that. And then what is the sum right here? And then they're going to ask you to do the whole thing. And that's what they're trying to get you to see, is the more accurate data is with more points. Okay. Well, we salvaged the class today. Hopefully Wednesday I'll be back in the classroom and hopefully the microphone will work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the roll, which everybody is here, so I'm just going to do that. But I'm going to extend the homework for those that have been working on it. I really don't care about those who haven't started. Let me go there and do that for you, and you'll see that I'm doing it. And hopefully the people in 236 can be quiet for a minute or two while I do this. I don't know who's in 236, so I don't really know. All right, 120.24. And assignment manager. And here is 4.1 and 4.2. And I will extend settings for class. Let's see, today is the 27th, so I'll extend it to the 28th. And extend this one to the 28th. I tell you what, make it 29th, and that way y'all can still have questions. And I'll change the other one to the 29th also. That way you can still send questions. Although I know some of y'all still aren't going to do it, but at least you can send questions in. That's not right. Why does it say, okay, 9:29. You're welcome. And let me check do the roll. Let me go ahead and do that. I know 19's here, so, well, I can do the roll. I better do everybody because somebody's going to say, oh, well, I thought class was canceled.